Welcome back to 8 Times Up Outdoors. I'm Ty with Chris. We're here.
That's me.
That's you.
The man, the myth, the legend.
So here we are back at Lake Trout Live. If this is your first time ever tuning into Lake Trout Live, this is our all things fishing show. It doesn't necessarily have to do with lake trout. Tonight we talk a little bit about lake trout. We just thought it was
caught a lot of them.
That's right. You caught more lake trout than I did. I still think we put the biggest fish on Blue Boat though. So
yeah, it's not a competition, Ty.
No, it was the entire time. What are you talking about? You're so full of crap. That's what people who lose for 3 days straight say.
I didn't lose. I mean, I lost, but I didn't lose.
We're going to get to that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Lake Trout Live. We are, what is it, a little over a week? Is that where we're at? Oh, time doesn't feel real anymore.
I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're a little over a week since we got back from Taylor. So, yeah, we're going to recap our trip a little. This was definitely one of the most interesting trips we've had in 14 years for a variety of reasons.
And very little of it had to do with the fishing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fishing was different this year than we've ever had too.
Yeah, it was definitely like, I don't want to call it slow. It was just sporadic. Like there was no didn't seem like the fish were in a rhythm. Like we were never in sync.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, I think I was talking to my wife and I said it was steady. Like we caught fish every day and caught a good number of fish every day, but it wasn't ever like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Or, I mean, we had some highlights for sure. But it was definitely kind of like, I don't know, good, but not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average.
Yeah. I would go above average because, I mean, well, okay, let's go with this first. So our buddy Corey came out from Kansas to join us, and that dude had the weekend of a lifetime. I feel like whatever boat he was on, that boat was catching fish, and lots of them and big ones.
Yep. He was lucky. He was the good luck charm, that's for sure. I think it was probably like the universe's way of making up for the travel debauchery he had to endure to make it.
God, yeah. So Corey woke up at like 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning, was supposed to catch a flight into Colorado, found out his flight was delayed and then canceled, and they couldn't get him in till Friday. So he said, screw it. That's the polite way of putting it in this case, and just drove out from Kansas.
Yeah. So, I mean, good on him though. Like great dedication.
Yeah. And he actually ended up getting to camp sooner than he would have had he flown, which was crazy. But this guy caught some fish. I have a couple of videos. Let's see. I'm going to show this.
Squirrely little shit.
Yeah, that was camera. That was video. That was perfect. So, the lake trout, the squirrely little shit. I thought. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's all the patch on the hat. Hello from Kansas.
All right, let's put him back in the water. Yeah, so that was, I think that was day one, wasn't it? I think that was Thursday morning.
Yeah, it had to have been. Yeah, because he was with me Friday morning and then back with you Saturday.
Yeah. Because no, he was with me Sunday morning. but
Oh, did he ever make it to White Boat?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe it may have been, I don't know. I think that was Thursday morning, but that was the biggest pike I have ever put on the boat before.
Oh yeah.
Which was super exciting when he caught that thing. So
Yeah, we saw a bunch of big pike on Red Boat, but man, I think we caught two or three. I didn't catch any pike, but Pete caught a couple, and then they were 12 inches max
right.
and pencil thin. Like, they were pike, but they weren't nothing to write home about. That's for sure.
Yeah, Corey caught that one, and then our buddy Travis caught another big one later in the week that were, they were big pike for anything I've seen. They're not the biggest pike in there, but they were good size at least.
Oh, monsters.
Yeah, there's some huge ones. Corey jumped on your boat though, and you guys started catching lake trout. Like,
Yeah, it took us a little while in the morning. I mean, it wasn't like right out of the gate by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, we finally developed the system and then just started making laps, trolling with the same and it seemed like we'd hit them in the same spot every time, which to an experienced professional fisherman would probably indicate that we should stop there and jig or do something that targets those specific fish rather than drive around the lake and then drive back through them and drive around the lake, drive back through them, But I'm not experienced, nor am I a professional, and I don't like to fucking jig, so we kept driving around the lake.
there you go. It's easier to drink when you're driving.
Yeah, huh?
Something like that.
The boat.
So all right. So what was this system that you put together? Like, what was working? This is early fall, Taylor Reservoir.
Pink, 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 pink. The actually, let me step to the side real quick. I'll grab it.
I'll keep talking. So early fall, Lakers had just started. They were just starting to come out of the depths. Water temp was warmer than we wanted it to be. It was still 56, 57 degrees. So we actually had a hard time finding Lakers often. So this was one of the few times we found them, but found them and was catching them on, drumroll please. Yeah, that's that Met
Flying Sea. Yep. This thing. Killed it.
It's been good for you.
Every time.
Yeah, that's the one you caught, the big one early on this year on too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that, and then we use those. I don't have it out here, but the Thomas buoyant,
yeah,
whatever it is. That pink one too. That one did pretty good. But yeah, we were at like 30 to 35 to 40 feet of water, about 1.5 to 1.7 miles an hour, and just downriggers trolling.
Yep.
And it seemed to be doing good. No dodger, no pop gear, no cowbell, nothing. Just the lure and let it do its work.
That's crazy. Yeah, we ended up trying to, match the pattern, and we still had all the dodgers and stuff on, and we didn't get into any of it. So you definitely found the sweet spot with that one.
Yeah, and they were, we'd catch one or two every pass.
Yeah.
Right in about the same location. Sometimes, 15, 20 yards one direction or the other, because obviously it's not perfect. But
right.
Yeah. But nothing like, obviously no monsters. But they were all about 20 inches, I'd guess.
Yeah.
In the 20-inch range.
For sure.
Yep.
Hey, we got a couple people tuned in live. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, share with your friends. That's huge as far as help for just people to get to know about this. We have some fun stories coming up tonight, so stay tuned for some of the chaos that happened. But yeah,
Shit show.
yeah, there was some moments. So anything else you tried this weekend? Because we both have this wonderful habit of buying a ton of new crap, trying it out, and then like some of it works, some of it doesn't. But what did you find? Was there anything of your new stuff that you're like, oh, that was 100% worth it?
No.
Okay.
No. I think. I mean, obviously, you can't say that it's not worth it. It didn't pan out on the trip the way I wanted it to. Like those football sized cowbells I bought. Using those actually, like when I had them on, the marks off the bottom were amazing.
Hmm.
Like there were fish coming up to look at all the time, but nothing ever hit, which tells me, or which I believe is like they were interested in that, but then whatever lure I had on wasn't working for them. So
Right.
like trying to coordinate that, I have no idea. So
Yeah, it got their attention, but didn't follow
it
through.
definitely did. And I don't know, maybe it was the time of the year or something, but
Yeah.
you know, with it being fall and close to the spawn and stuff like that, I don't know if they just weren't that hungry or if it was the lure or what. So I'm excited to use those next year when it's like a more just average day of fishing, right? Like not on one end of the spectrum of the year versus the other, kind of there in the
Right.
middle. So
Well, and those
we'll
could
see.
be great in that early spring too. You know,
Yeah, down deep.
yeah, it'd be fun to try some of that stuff. So nice. Yeah, I don't know if any of the new stuff I bought paid off either. I had some stuff that I've had for a couple of years that finally panned out, that I've been hoping would work and finally did. Um, the only thing the only thing that I bought that I'm like, huh, that would have been good to know. Is I bought, we talked about it, that I bought those short bus flashers that are like, big,
Oh yeah.
giant Dodgers, and put them in the water the first time and figured out they floated. So yeah, I had to have a whole different setup than I was prepared to at that point. So I didn't even get to use those. So
Well, I mean, it should have I feel like just based on the size of that, like they have to float. Like you're
okay.
trying to use the Titanic as a Dodger, right? Like it's
Well,
gonna float.
I mean, if it was made out of
Maybe.
metal like a normal one, it wouldn't. It's just plastic, and I guess a giant plate of plastic, I should have assumed, would float.
Oh, I didn't even know. I thought it was metal.
No, it's plastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes a lot of
Well,
sense. I just didn't think it through.
yeah.
Can't call
Yeah.
that dumb stuff I bought online. That's just, I'm dumb at this point. That's all that was.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So we had a couple of first. Let's go with first. We had a couple of first on this trip. One of which was so you can see the picture and we'll have to post the picture online because that's going to be the easiest way to do this. But a buddy of ours, Pete, had a mishap and hit his head, his very shiny bald head, on a nail, a giant nail, sticking out of the wall at like 2 a.m. Right?
Yeah. Like, man, I don't even know how to dive into that further, but geez, like not only was it late at night, not only was it like a freak, like all the things have to align for that nail to hit him in the head. Like, what a good run of bad luck.
Yeah.
Like all the shit sandwiches aligned in the whack.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I got awakened at 2:30 a.m. By Jeremy, our chef, who comes into my room and oh so politely is like, "Hey Ty, I hate to do this, but Pete hit his head and I think he needs some help." And so I get out of bed at 2:30 a.m., walk into the room. Pete has like a giant thing of paper towels on his head. Apparently, it took him about 30 minutes to get the bleeding to stop and then wake up Jeremy. So he was kind of on his own for like 30 minutes in the middle of the night. And he takes the bandage off the top of his head. And I just went, like, it was gnarly. I immediately walked next door because, fortunately for us, we had a very highly trained medic with us. And I just said, "Hey, we need you now." And then,
yeah.
and then my favorite part of that was he walks into the room. Pete again takes the bandage off, and the medic goes, "We're going to the hospital. Get in the truck." Like there was no like, "Hey, let me take a look at this." It was just like, "Yep, we're gonna drive the hour it takes us into town to get some doctor's attention." So
Man, I gotta tell you, like, good on our friends for being as polite as they were. Dude, if I cut my head open like that, I'm kicking Riri in the head. Like,
oh yeah.
bro,
No, yeah,
wake your ass up. I got issues and I need help. I'd be
yeah.
like dripping blood on him and like whatever. Like,
Oh, Pete was
no.
so polite about the entire process. Like the whole time he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to mess up." You know, he's like Forrest Gump and "I'm sorry, I messed up your Black Panther part." Like that's what it felt like the whole time.
Yeah. Oh
But
man, blood everywhere. And I've seen head
oh,
wounds, they freaking bleed like a stuck pig.
well, especially when they're
So
2 inches by like 7.5 inches across his head. Like,
uh, yeah.
oof.
I'm telling you, he's gonna have a badass scar, which needs to be turned into a cool ass tattoo.
I agree. I agree.
Nope.
Yeah, he
That's
came.
my hope.
They came back to camp at a little after 6, probably 6:30, that same morning, and he had it was 20 or 25, I don't remember, staples that it
I know
took
it's
to
20, I think
seal
it's
this
22.
22. So
22.
over 20
That's my
staples to
hunch.
seal this thing up and put it together. So
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
it was brutal. It was
Like,
brutal.
yep. Moral of the story. Turn the light on, pick your feet up when you walk.
There you go. So, yeah, something.
I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah. I don't know how. I mean, I'm shocked that in 14 years of making this trip, this is our first, knock on wood. This is our first hospital visit in 14 years.
Yeah. Well, and this is like the first injury that requires more than a band-aid.
Right. Yeah. That was crazy. So yeah, that one was fun. What?
I thought we were gonna have to go to the hospital for you that one year
Oh yeah,
when
with
we
the
were
tooth.
hiking down the hill and no, when you were
Oh
hiking down the hill and slipped and oh,
yeah, landed on my
you hit the
elbow.
ground so hard, I'm pretty sure the earth went down and you just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the worst
Mm.
part of that is I'm still like recovering. Like it took over a year to figure out that I had like messed up a disc in my neck. Yeah, that was dumb. Dumb. But didn't go to the hospital though. So Pete was the first.
Yeah.
He has that.
Yeah.
So, do you want to set up this next?
I don't want. I gotta go. I don't want to talk about it
So, this
because
is
I shit
painful.
you not. There I was. No, go ahead. I don't.
All right. This is painful for everyone involved, and the only way to feel good about it is to watch and laugh at it. So I'll show this, and then we'll talk about it a little. All right. So Chris is flying the drone into my boat. We're here. We're doing a little jigging right here. Friend Travis, not impressed by Chris's flying skills, and then that's straight into the lake at that point. It just cuts off. But yeah. Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, drones don't film underwater.
Or they don't float, which is somewhat shocking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't float either.
No.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the idea that they're designed to be in the air and not in the water.
Well, I'm sure, but you would think with as light as they're designed to be, there would be enough like air in them that they would float. But
Yeah, I don't know.
no.
You know, and I do know this, that there are attachments that you can put on them that allow them to fly and then also float in the happenstance that you crash it like I did in water.
So you ordered some of those?
No, not yet.
Not
Because
yet.
I don't have anything to put them on right now.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we tragically lost the 8 times up drone into the water, and it legitimately happened so fast. Like that flew up, and it looked like it just shut off all power and went straight into the water. And Travis tried to catch it with his fishing pole, and I reached for the net and picked it up. And by the time I turned around, like that thing was gone. It was Davy Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the world's greatest drone pilot by any stretch of the imagination, but man, I I had a plan, went to do it and hit I hit down instead of up and crunch.
Yep. Just straight.
Oh shit.
So for
Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna, yeah, and then like I had to sit there for a minute because I could see your guys' reaction, and there was like, it was kind of like that. Oh crap, we like that happened, and now we don't know what to do. And I could see Jeremy on the bank, and he watched it happen, and he kind of had the same body language of oh shit. And I thought to myself, like, I'm gonna sit here for a good 30 seconds. I'm going to take a tactical pause. I'm going to have a timeout. I'm going to collect myself because right now I am feeling pretty aggressive. And so I just sat there and nobody said a word. Nobody on my boat said anything. Nobody on your boat said anything to me. Jeremy wasn't hollering from the bank. Like, it was just, this is the most peaceful 30 seconds of the entire trip. And then I got on the radio. You guys didn't happen to get that out of the water, did you? Nope.
Nope.
Then I had to take another breath. Oh, I was ready to lose it.
Yeah. As someone prone to violent outbreaks, there was no prayer I was saying anything in that moment. Like, I'm just going to wait here. Like, currently, I am on another boat and far enough away that I feel like I am in a safe place. But that could change rapidly. So,
yeah, I could tell. I can't even remember who was on my boat with me.
Pete and Chuck.
Pete, yeah.
Yeah.
And nothing. Like they didn't look at me. They didn't like snicker. They nothing.
Mm-mm.
And then after I said something, then they were like, "That sucks." And they
Yeah.
were still like, you could tell walking on eggshells.
We can't say anything yet.
Ugh. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the quiet and the peace was very short lived. And
Yeah,
then the
'cause
jokes came.
I was gonna say by that evening when we were playing poker, anytime someone lost a hand, it was like, it's okay. It's cheaper than a drone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that became the go-to at that point.
It's still painful. I just opened my camera case and like there are accoutrements and things for the drone, but there's no drone.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep, yep, that'll hurt.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, I made jokes about it today. I had to.
Yeah,
You
I've
were
caught one about once a day.
yeah, you were talking about trying to fix stupid, and I was like, up, not down.
Mhm.
So we've already as a group decided we're going to invest in a label maker, so we can label the up and down switch on the remote for Chris for his next drone.
Yeah. There will be a next one.
There will be.
There will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
GoFundMe.com
too handy.
/ not cheaper than a drone. Help us buy a drone.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. Or no. Oh, here we go. We just need to do where hold please. Where's it at? There we go. Yeah. Help us buy a new drone. Go to patreon.com / 8 times up outdoors. You can sign up for as little as $5 a month to help fix stupid. All right.
Which is me.
Yeah, it happens. We both had our moments.
Yeah.
So, but it was a good trip. We got some footage. Not a ton. That's pretty standard for this trip. We tend to focus more on fishing and friends than we do filming. But we'll do some follow-up stuff with what worked, and we'll put together a little something on that. So that's coming up
Yeah, I've got like
soon.
3. I have like 3 SD cards full.
Oh, should start uploading those. I got nothing. I did such a bad job filming this year.
I would
Yeah.
have 4 SD cards. The 4th one wouldn't be full, but I'd still have it. But it's at the 100-foot of water in the bottom of the
Right.
lake. So
Yeah. It's in said drone. That's
yeah.
So we've got that to put together. I started editing our very short-lived Cool Cans Open. Chris and I started a new tradition this year where I think it's a tradition. I think that's going to have to happen again. Yeah. So we set out to play an 18-hole match of golf and got rained, almost snowed on and blown on we only finished 9 holes and we only filmed 2 of them because then we got in a hurry just to get the crap out of there. But we filmed the first part and put together. So I started editing that. So that'll be good to see. So keep an eye out for that. We have something else. There's three videos that need to come out right now. Top 5 things we learned at Lake Powell. I got to do that one. And then the Taylor one. That's what it is.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the weather for our Cool Cans Open was worse in town earlier in the year than it was for our Taylor trip. Our Taylor trip, we had the best weather we've ever had there. Ever.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually we're blown off the lake at like 11.
Yeah, and we were
this week we were like forcing ourselves to leave by 1.
Yeah. Yep. And then back up at 4 with no problems.
Oh yeah. Never.
Like we put more hours in on the lake this year than we ever have in the past.
Yep.
For sure. So, but it was good.
And we played as we
Say
played as
what?
little cornhole as we played less cornhole this trip than we ever have.
But it
because of the
should be
weather.
it should be of note because of our last live that the champions still remain. Pete and Jeremy are going to have to do some work. This is 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Just saying. So the handicap match against Corey and Travis was good though. It was fun.
It was.
So
Yep.
yeah, we'll have to do some more. But all right. Time to call it a night. Yeah. Anything
Yep.
else we should add?
Not that I could think of.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in. We had live viewers tonight, which is always super fun. We appreciate it a ton. And then if not, if you didn't get a chance and you're watching later, make sure to tell your friends, share it with fishing buddies and things like that. If you are not a Patreon supporter, we are a crappy YouTube channel, but we do Patreon very well. That is one thing we got going for us. So we have some great swag. The next swag will be coming out at Christmas time. Already super excited for that. Shout out to Chuck, our newest Patreon supporter, for signing up for that. But yeah, Christmas stuff will be coming out here in the next month or so. Probably about 6 weeks for that. So you can sign up, patreon.com, 8 Times Up Outdoors for as little as $5 a month. Like, subscribe, share with friends. I think that's all the good stuff. So until next time, tight lines.
Cool cans.
There it is. A little delayed. We're working on it. He's slow. It's fine.
Up